And it is Monday, the 26th day of January 2026. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch tonight. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's kick off. President William Ruto has issued a bold challenge to his political rivals, vowing a landslide victory in the 2027 general elections. Speaking during a high-stakes UDA National Governing Council meeting at State House, the president defended the controversial privatization of state assets and hinted at a deepening alliance with the ODM party to galvanize the nation. Vincent Kerosi has more.
Unajua Kenya hii kuna watu wa porojo mingi, propaganda mingi, kule kwa social media imejaa fitina, hakuna kazi imefanyika. Wale walituambia uongo.
President William Ruto is taking the fight to his critics.
We want to make it a resolution of this.
Addressing UDA leaders at State House Nairobi, the head of state dismissed naysayers opposing the sale of government shares in Kenya Pipeline and Safaricom.
The eradication of cartels.
The president insisted that the proceeds are not for recurrent spending, but a strategic move to fund Kenya's multi-trillion shilling infrastructure backlog.
Lakini tunasimama hapa leo ili wale wanasema ya kwamba tuliwaambia Wakenya uongo waaibike. Leo tunasimama hapa, scorecard yetu inaonyesha wazi ya kwamba yale makubaliano tulikubaliana na Wakenya, manifesto wa Kenya milioni 7.2 walipigia kura, imetekelezwa almost 80%.
But the president's focus wasn't just on the economy. He declared that his broad-based government is the new political reality, hinting at the ongoing negotiations with the late Raila Odinga's ODM party. Ruto warned competitors that a unified front is forming, one he claims will deliver a knockout blow in 2027.
Many people I have heard have gone to parliament to say, oh, you know, these shares of Kenya Pipeline have been overvalued. You know, hii share has been overvalued. Kwani mtu alikuwa anafikiri mali ya umma atakuja tu abebe hivi hivi? Hapana. Hii ni mali imejengwa over time, my friend. Hii ni mali imetengenezwa over time. So we have made sure that the people of Kenya get the best deal from their asset. Not a single shilling is going to pay salary. Not a single shilling is going to pay debt. We are going to use that money to build additional wealth.
The president urged his party lieutenants to hit the ground running, using the administration's development record to win over the electorate. As the KPC IPO enters its final weeks, the president is betting that a more stable economy and a wider political tent will make him unbeatable.
Today we have a broad-based government with our friends, the ODM party, and we have agreed that this broad-based has worked. Has it worked or has it not? And it is said, if it is working, don't fix it. Election inakuja, we want to win by a margin of between 2 and 3 million. Mnanisikia? Wacha nirudie. This election, the last election, we won by a margin of 200,000. 200,000. This election, we must win by a margin of 2 to 3 million.
With the opposition already raising questions about the transparency of the Safaricom share sale, President Ruto remains keen to kickstart his 2027 journey with the scoreboard taking center stage.
Ni kazi! Kazi ni kazi!
Vincent Kerosi, Hope TV, Nairobi.
Asanteni sana, mbarikiwe.
Thank you, Vincent. Now, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUCO chairperson Peterson Wachira, now says negotiations have begun to put an end to their ongoing industrial action that has entered its 34th day today. The union has blamed the county governments and the Ministry of Health for failing to address their demands, warning that the crisis will persist unless an urgent resolution is reached. And as Sami Adika reports, Wachira has insisted that all concerned parties must be present for negotiations in a bid to end the recurrent stalemate.
34 days since healthcare workers across the country boycotted work over claims of unpaid salaries for about 20 months for Global Fund workers, poor working conditions, and non-implementation of the 2017 Collective Bargaining Agreement (CBA, no solution has been reached so far. On a one-on-one interview with Hope TV, KUKO chairperson Peterson Wachira pointed an accusing finger at Health Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale and the Council of Governors for not heeding to the SRC recommendations that will see the clinicians receive their salary increments and allowances.
You know, in the past they will say that we are waiting for SRC to approve. SRC has approved. So why aren't them signing? They don't feel like it's inaction by people in positions. And that is why we are saying that we are simply on strike because of negligence and impunity by government or state office.
In a bid to end the prolonged industrial action that has taken a heavy toll on all sectors of the healthcare system, KUKO has begun negotiations with the Council of Governors, with Wachira saying the union is pushing to onboard the Ministry of Health on the ongoing talks.
I made tremendous progress on the side of the CBA, the risk allowance, and the implementation of the third cycle, the third phase of the third cycle of SRC salary review. But we are yet to agree on the side of the UHC conversion, as well as the payment of arrears and gratuity for the Global Fund staff. And once we agree on that, I know that I will be in a position now to return to work.
Weighing in on the debate on whether the healthcare sector should be a responsibility of the national government and not counties, Wachira highlighted the need for progressive talks to address the challenges bedeviling the sector.
We have incongruence in government policies. We have incongruence in the legal provisions on the side of financing and procurement to the side of service delivery. We must sit and audit and ask ourselves, how do we marry the two?
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja is on the spot as the healthcare services in the county is reportedly deteriorating, with KUKO reporting that students were attending to patients at Mama Lucy Hospital last week.
Salaries are coming out late. The statutory deductions are not being paid on time. Our people are having to suffer as they cannot access the services they offer under SHA. Because after 9, then you cannot access the service if it's not paid. And so there is something that is not going on well.
As a looming health crisis draws closer, no urgent efforts have been taken, especially by the national government, to end the frequent strikes. The question now being, for how long will patients bear the brunt, yet those charged with the responsibility of keeping the sector afloat keep on dragging negotiations? For Newswatch, I'm Sami Adika.
Much appreciated, Adika, for that report, even as we do hope that the stalemate will be ended soon. Now to matters church and politics. The interaction between the church and politics has sparked a heated debate, especially after the tension that rocked the Anglican Church of Kenya in Wetima, Othaya, Nyeri County last Sunday. That is yesterday. The church has increasingly found itself at the center of political confrontations as every election approaches, as questions continue to be raised about the conduct of politicians in places of worship. Jacob Ochiro reports.
When two bulls fight, it's the grass that suffers. The events of last Sunday at the Anglican Church of Kenya in Wetima, Othaya, Nyeri County clearly exposed this reality and raised numerous questions about the position the church has found itself in. Last Sunday's incident was the 10th such occurrence involving the use of tear gas and gunshots being fired inside a church during a worship service. Political analysts warn that if this situation is not addressed early, it will cause serious problems in the future.
From me and where I sit, violence is violence, whether it comes from a pro-government politician or opposition. The level of intolerance we are seeing in this country, if we are not careful, it might slip into 207.
Given the position they hold in the country, the church has been castigated for not taking a stand in separating the body of Christ from political interference. Condemning the chaos witnessed yesterday, the National Council of Churches of Kenya (NCCK) have made a warning shot to the political class to respect the temple of God.
We are not going to sit back and say that what we have been seeing is not a calculated move, maybe to disrupt worship services. And therefore, we are not going to allow this. We are going to say it in plain words, strong words, that places of worship must be respected.
Despite this, the disrespect and attacks happening in the house of God have become a source of serious concern, and it's being seen as a gross disrespect to the church. Due to the gravity of this matter, there is growing demand for more than just statements.
Who they invite. And also, as we speak about that, I think our churches also need to be responsible, because even if the church wants support from politicians, let's separate the two. If a politician comes to your church, it does not necessarily have to be given the front seats. It does not necessarily have to be given a microphone. Whatever they say with those microphones, even when the church is ongoing, is what is the problem.
However, the NCCK has also demanded that the political class should avoid misusing the pulpit.
So I was saying that political leaders who attend worship services have to come there with dignity and respect the places of worship. And when we allow you to come to our places of worship, we allow worshipers. We are not allowing people who are coming to haul insults and abuses to their opponents. It is not your platform. It is a platform to worship God, and it is a platform where every person who comes there must uphold the dignity and the respect that is required in every place of worship.
In order to ensure that the events of 2007 do not recur, the church has appealed to all political class to conduct their campaigns in a civilized and peaceful manner outside the church.
Kenya that is hopeful this year. We expect a Kenya that is committed to peace and to peaceful elections. We expect Kenya that remembers what happened in 2008, that would not be making any statement that sounds as if we are taking Kenya back to the 2008 scenario.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Jacob Ochiro.
Thanks, Jacob. Moving to still on the similar matter, former Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has strongly condemned the violent incident where former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and worshippers were reportedly confronted with tear gas and live ammunition during a church service in Nyeri County. Matiang'i described the attack as a serious violation of a place of worship, a breach of human rights, and a clear sign of declining governance standards in the country. Caleb Mwoti has this report.
Jubilee Deputy Party Leader Dr. Fred Matiang'i has pointed an accusing finger against government leaders, faulting them for allowing a human rights violation incident to occur during a church service in Nyeri last Sunday, and questioning whether decisive action will be taken to ensure those responsible are brought to justice. Matiang'i stated that the move is part of a plan to disrupt opposition leaders who are not in step with the government.
Mimi leo nataka kuzungumza wazi ni mtindo ambao unapangwa na serikali kwa kuangaisha viongozi wa upinzani, wa kuangaisha wale ambao hawaelewani nao. Huwezi kuwa na kitendo kama kile tuliona jana kule Odhaya without county security team ya Nyeri kujua ni nini ilikuwa inafanyika.
At the same time, Matiang'i cautioned security officials against carrying out unlawful directives, warning that such actions could ultimately leave them personally liable.
Tena ndio mimi na washauri hawa ndugu zangu viongozi walio katika vitengo vya usalama, usikubali kutumiwa kubeba uchafu wa watu na mipango ambayo inakuharibia wewe mwenyewe sifa kwanza. Inaharibu nchi yako. Na wakati mwingine ikiendelea namna hii, ikifika mahali hata unaweza kushtakiwa wewe mwenyewe na hayo maneno, na wewe una haja na hayo maneno, wewe unataka kutumikia nchi yako umalize.
Speaking during an interview with the vernacular radio station,
Matiang'i called on political leaders to uphold the rule of law and respect the rights of citizens, inciting that leadership must be exercised with responsibility and accountability.
Na kwa heshima kubwa sana kwa wale viongozi wetu wako kwa serikali, tafadhali tuheshimu akili na uwezo wa wananchi tunaowaongoza. Kuna mambo mengine tunaambia wananchi ambayo unashangaa kwa sababu inawezekanaje? Sasa labda kuna kitu inapangwa hapo, kuna mambo inaendelea hapo. Unaweza kuona hii si rocket science, unaweza kuona hapo kuna kitu inafanywa hapo. Utakuja kusikia baada ya miezi mbili.
For Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Caleb Mwoti.
Thank you, Caleb, for that report, which takes us on a short break on Newswatch tonight. Don't go too far. We'll be back with much more news.
Hi everyone, my name is George Gishoro, a presenter with Hope TV. Thank you so very much for continuing to support us by watching all our programs. Now, we would love to serve you even better. Now, we want to know where you are watching us from and the strength of the signal. You can scan the QR code and ensure that you answer all the questions in ensuring that you are getting us loud and clear with crystal pictures. So go ahead and fill in the QR code so that we can serve you better right here at Hope TV, where you look and live.
There's a world out there searching for hope, and you can help bring it home. By becoming a friend of Hope, you're helping us share the love of Jesus through Hope FM and Hope TV. With a donation of any amount, join hands with us to bring hope and point souls to the transforming power of Jesus Christ. Become a friend of Hope today by making your donation through the M-Pesa paybill number 933933, account FOH. For more information on how to become a friend of Hope, call 0116-212-723 or email customerexperience@hopefm.org or visit www.hopemediakenya.org. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
Welcome back. The African Indigenous Pastoralist Gathering being held in Nairobi from last Sunday, January 25th to Thursday 29th has drawn close to 100 delegates from North, West, Central, Southern and Eastern Africa, convened ahead of the United Nations International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralists 2026. The meeting seeks to forge a single African voice to influence global policy processes and ensure pastoralists and indigenous communities are fully included in decision-making in a renewed push for climate justice, land rights, and recognition.
Pastoralist leaders, indigenous representatives, civil society groups, and government officials have converged at the Kenya School of Monetary Studies in Nairobi, determined to speak with one voice. The gathering, organized by a coalition including Impact Kenya, AFPAT, the National Drought Management Authority, and the State Department of ASLS and Regional Development, is laying the groundwork of coordinated African advocacy ahead of major global forums such as UNCCD COP17.
We are aiming to see a roadmap from now to the next August that will be in Mongolia. The reason of it, we wanted to have one voice of all the African pastoralists, one key messages that we can carry together. In those conferences at the international level, they already adopted last year a decision on pastoralists, but also a decision on Indigenous Peoples Caucus. So we wanted the operationalization to do not leave us behind. We wanted to decide on how those decisions can be turned in a national policies, as my brother here said, and how those national policies can benefit the communities. We wanted to ensure that the direct access finance that is committed at the international level to come back home.
Addressing the gathering, Principal Secretary for ASLS and Regional Development, Kelo Hasama, urged Kenyan pastoralists to diversify livelihoods to reduce vulnerability to drought. He encouraged to transition from exclusive cattle dipping to agro-pastoralism, noting that the government is ready to support the shift through construction of mega dams to promote irrigation agriculture.
We are also driving pastoralists to diversify their economy with a view to mitigate drought. For example, the only means of survival for pastoralists is cattle keeping. We are now telling pastoralists to adopt agro-pastoralism. The government is intending to provide mega dams in these ASAL counties, 23 ASAL counties, with a view to encourage irrigation agriculture so that these pastoralists diversify their economies from pastoralist economy to agro-pastoralism so that they are able to cope with serious problems of climate change.
The 5 days gathering will culminate in a field visit to Suswa in Narok County, where delegates will engage directly with indigenous pastoral communities, sharing experiences and learning from local conservation practices. By the end of the meeting, participants hope to have strengthened a continental network of pastoralist organizations and government partners united in advocacy of land rights, climate justice, and inclusive development.
We are the solution. We are the future. We wanted to rebuild back the peace between peoples. We wanted to give hope of the next generation that is coming. In this world where we are seeing there is no hope, we are the hope. And this is the aim and this is the objective of the gathering we are having here. Today we will have a session technical. Tomorrow we will have a community visit where everyone can go and see the real life of the pastoral peoples around Kenya in different communities. And when we come back the next day, we will be working on what will be our demand.
Reporting for Hope TV, my name is Glory Nkatha.
Thanks, Glory. Now, Machakos County has marked a significant milestone in youth empowerment after Governor Wavinya Ndeti officially launched the second cohort of the Machakos Youth Service ATC bootcamp, building on the success of the first intake and providing young people with skills, training, and opportunities to thrive. Speaking during the launch, Wavinya said the program marks the beginning of a transformative journey for the country's youth, focusing not only on technical skills but also on character development, discipline, leadership, and community service.
Nilikuja nikachukuliwa huku nikapata skills, after that kusoma nikapatiwa tools. Now niko na skills pale nje to nimesoma from Her Excellency Madam Governor. I want to thank her for promoting the youth.
I was here trained for 3 weeks and then posted to Masi. My manager is here. After that, I was awarded some tools and I started my own business.
This reminds us that true success is measured by the impact we make as we give back to our communities. I encourage you to fully embrace each phase. Be disciplined, be committed, and be compassionate. As leadership, we remain committed to investing in youth empowerment because in so doing, we secure the future. I officially declare Machakos Youth Service Cohort 2 ATC Bootcamp officially opened.
Now, across our borders, Uganda's military chief, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has denied claims that soldiers assaulted Barbara Kyagulanyi, the wife of opposition leader Bobby Wine, during a raid on their home. Wine, who says he is in hiding, alleged the armed officers held his wife at gunpoint, assaulted her, and seized documents and electronic devices. Speaking from hospital, Barbara Kyagulanyi said officers demanded to know her husband's whereabouts and attacked her when she refused. The general has also renewed calls for Wine's surrender. The incident comes amidst heightened political tension following President Yoweri Museveni's disputed election victory.
That same man held me by my hair, lifted me up. We have poles in the sitting room, and hit my head on the pole and slit my mouth. So when he hit me, he pulled me down and sat me down. Then he pushed my head and I went down, and they sat on me. I could feel 4 bodies seated on me. Then he said, "Will you give me the password?" I said again in Unyankore, "You have already done enough. You are not getting the password." One of the main reasons was to look for my husband because his phone has been home. I switched it on yesterday because there is a password I was looking for. And then that was like at around 3. So I think they got a signal of his phone, and then they were sure he was home. But he had left his phone behind. They came to terrorize me, to put me in this situation so that wherever my husband is, he can come out. I want to encourage him to stay wherever he is. I am okay. I can take care of myself. And the other thing, they came to steal our property because they stole everything valuable that we have.
Superior Homes Kenya has broken ground on a 3 billion shillings residential development in Ruiru, Kiambu County, signaling continued confidence in housing demand within the Greater Nairobi metropolitan area. The project, dubbed the Orchards at Northlands, is a residential development aimed at meeting the growing demand for organized housing in fast-developing areas around the capital. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony, Superior Homes Managing Director Ian Henderson said the development responds directly to clear market demand, noting that interest in quality housing around Nairobi remains strong.
And Northland City provides us with a very strategic environment for long-term residential and investment value. In terms of project overview, the total project value for this project is just under Kenya shillings 3 billion. And as you can see from the location, it is a prime setting within the Northland City, offering excellent accessibility and future growth potential. So the Orchards represents a long-term, lifestyle-focused investment, combining quality development, strategic location, and of course, a trusted delivery partner in the form of Superior Homes.
And in sports, Athletics Kenya has cancelled the World Athletics Indoor Trials that were scheduled for 30th and 31st of this month in Nairobi, citing unavoidable circumstances. The federation says athletes who will represent Kenya at the World Athletics Indoor Championships in Poland in March this year will now be selected through a time-based and merit-based process after the qualification window closes on March 8th. Team selection will cover events including the 60 meters, 400 meters, 800 meters, 1,500 meters, and 3,000 meters for both men and women, as well as the women's 60-meter hurdles. The Athletics Kenya leadership has urged athletes to continue training and competing in scheduled events as performances remain under close review. Now, Machakos County has marked a major boost for local sports development with KMC United FC crowned FKF County League champions and the official launch of the FKF Machakos County Women's League. The Women's League, launched by the county government in partnership with the Football Kenya Federation, will feature 16 teams from across the county and aims to grow women's football at the grassroots. At the same event, KMC United clinched the county title after an unbeaten run, finishing ahead of Katwanya, Falcon and Sabaki FC. The top 3 teams received cash awards and will now represent Machakos County in the Eastern Conference League.
Hii ligi yetu tunacheza round robin, which tunapumzika weekend moja, tunapumzika weekend mbili, tunaenda hiyo weekend nyingine ya tatu. So per month tunacheza weekend mbili. Aim ya kucheza hii ligi yetu ni kuwa tunache girl child na to grow football ya Machakos County. Of which sasa timu pia zikimaliza zikikuwa top tunazipromote, zinaenda regional, pia zinaenda mpaka Division 1, hata pia tunaweza pata slot tuingie NSL ama KPL ya wasichana.
Through partnership na county government, the governor amechukua responsibility ya kusponsor team ya wasichana. So yeye ndo atakuwa ndio patron wetu wa county ya wasichana, county league ya wasichana. So sisi tumesema asante na leo tumefanya launch. Maybe tukimaliza league tuone nani tutakuwa tumemsukuma mbele. God willing tupate pia wasichana wetu pia kwa kama vile sasa hivi tulipata ule msichana mmoja anachezea police. So tuone kama tunaweza pata wengine. Bila kucheza grassroots na bila kucheza league.
We have seen girls, they are doing good job. The potentials have been unlocked from the ward level. And this has been brought by the Mega Governors Cup, which we have been doing since 2022. And it seems it has brought the football of Machakos ladies to be in another level. So we're happy, at least we have seen the league has started, and now we are looking forward to continue supporting the FKF so that we can make it become more vibrant. And we encourage all the ladies in Machakos County and the whole of Kabani wajitokeze kwa wingi sana tuweze kucheza ball, tusibebe ball.
It is a wrap on Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole crew that has made this bulletin a success, thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Have a good night.